Hello, and welcome back to Tarot by Lodestone Productions, where we help you discover your true north. I am Aditi, and this is a message for whenever this message reaches you, because Spirit is not bound to our time and space continuum. And so the only time by which we tell time is divine time. Dig what I'm saying? So let's check our spiritual voicemail and see what's what. Shall we? Do let's. Here we go. Okay. So, while I was preparing for the reading, Jay-Z was on the brain. Just a small snippet. You got a flow, that's cool with me. You got a little dough, that's cool with me. You got your little cars, your little jewelries, but none of y'all motherfuckers can fool with me. You know the wrist frostbite -2 degrees. You know the wrist frostbite -2 degrees. The way I maneuver the V. Hat cocked, can't see his eyes. Who could it be? With that new blue Yankee on, who but me? 10 of Cups, Knight of Wands, Queen of Wands, and Prince of Cups. Emotion and passion in there's a progression there. Also progression in that particular verse too. Like, okay, let's play music theorist for a minute. So, on both halves of that particular stanza, Jay-Z is talking about 4 different things. Flow, dough, cars, jewelry, right? Then he talks about skipping 2 million, going to 3, and then skating to 4 million before he went on tour, right? And then he talks about the jewelry, wrist frostbite -2 degrees. Blew the C, the way he maneuvered the V. Hat cocked, can't see his eyes. Who could it be with that new blue Yankee on? Who but me? Like there was a progression there, and like the way that he actually built it, how he built that verse. And that's what I'm seeing. Yes, Huey, we are reading. One moment, let me let pretty kitty in. You come on in with that. There we go. So yeah, the way that he built the verse, right? And that takes us right here with the Knight of Cups, and he is depicted as the filmmaker, right? So with this filmmaker, he sees the whole picture, and his job is to bring the viewer into his mind's eye, right? The same way that an MC would transport the listener to a specific point in time with his rhymes, okay? And there's building and progression here. the first step is just ultimate happiness with the Ten of Cups. And you've got the Prince of Wands and the Queen of Wands. And what I'm seeing here, like Prince of Wands is very impulsive, right? Knight of Wands is about the moment, and that's it. Queen of Wands, on the other hand, even though the end goal is total pleasure, she understands and appreciates all of the nuance that goes into playing the long game, right? It's one thing to have a flow and have that flow turn into a money-making venture, right? But if the only thing that you are in it for are a couple of cars and a couple of chains, that's real short-sighted, right? It's not like looking towards the future. But the way that particular verse, the way that particular verse was crafted, you knew that Jay-Z was thinking long-term, okay? He's not worried about who's making what rapping, because he knows what he has and he sees his vision coming to life, right? Now, with all that being said, I know the Jigga Man has some other things associated with him. I get it. But he still spits hot fire. And the verse is the verse, and the lyrical content is the lyrical content. And honestly, that verse is really, really fun to rap. So, there's that. So we've got the Moon, the Three of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, and Ten of Wands. Okay. Yes, there's building happening, and you've got this vision of how you want it to look when it's all said and done. But there are trials, there are setbacks, right? And these trials and these setbacks are setups. See, because right in the center of this, you have the Three of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles, standing hard on the promises that God has already given to you, and also an opportunity to grasp some financial abundance. Okay, so what I'm seeing between the Prince of Cups and the Moon, in a word, focus. Okay, have a vision, make it plain. You can't get any plainer than a singular light illuminating your path. It's pretty straightforward, but it is, right? You got your marching orders, and you are bound and determined to see them through, because you know that there's a reward in it for you. If that reward is simply the deep-rooted sense of satisfaction knowing that you have walked this narrow path. Now, okay, Spirit. All right, so yes, there are some things associated with Jay-Z's name, right? Okay. Spirit, give me the words. There may be people on the left and the right of you that have been successful dealing with unsavory characters. And if you've watched these people behave unethically and still be allowed to experience success, it can definitely stir up some feelings of resentment. Number one, because they're able to do it, and two, because, well, you won't. Because every time that you try to get out of your lane, you get met with disease-infested rodents, semi-aquatic mammals, just some stuff that you don't want to come across, because you, again, ventured out of your lane. But when you stay the course and you run your race and you don't worry about what's going on to the left and to the right of you, no matter who's succeeding how, it puts you in alignment to receive the gifts that are for you. And the thing about that, every spiritualist I have ever known will tell you that what God has for you is for you. Okay? No one else is going to get it. No one else is going to get it. This is for you. So even though the path is difficult and it seems restrictive at times, just know that this restriction and this tiny sliver of illumination is actually getting you focused and redirected so that you do actually receive the gifts for you instead of just walking around them looking at everybody else's shit. So we've got the Five of Cups. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. A lot of Knight energy in here. Two of Cups and Page of Wands. Okay? Don't worry about what other people got going on. Okay? They ain't got poop to do with you. Damn sure ain't got nothing to do with your purpose. Right? If you're looking back on who you used to be, how you used to behave, and oh man, things were so simple then. Things were simple then because you were simple then. You aren't this complex creature that you are today. You're tuning in and listening to tarot readings on the internet. What a time to be alive. You're taking the time to learn and develop your own path to source, because you know that what you've done up until now is not adequate. So why are you looking back on these inadequacies and still staying hyper fixated on this simpler time? It wasn't that this time was simpler. Okay? You were simple. You didn't know what you didn't know. And also, this is the middle of the road. We trying to get to a 10 here. You hanging out in these 5s. Like, come on, man. This longing for how things were is going to hurt you in the long run, because we are not meant to stay in the past. We're not meant to live in the past. And I say that while I just got finished citing a song that's over 20 years old. Everybody, get them up. Everybody, get it up. I know, but we're not supposed to live in the past. Okay? The Knight of Pentacles right behind that. No, we're not. Ever onward, ever forward, ever diligent, ever meticulous. This guy right here. Okay? What's the word? Be impeccable with your word. God, that's such a big one. Be impeccable with your word. Okay? Normally we don't view, as a society, we do not view day traders as someone who is forthcoming. Maybe not. Maybe not. But there's a lot of shuffling that happens with a day trader, right? It's there's a lot of moving parts with them. And because of that, and because of the nature of their business, they have to make sure that the decimals line up, that the arithmetic is correct, and that everything checks and balances before things go to print, because one mistake can cost a client everything. So the Knight of Pentacles is not known for speed. If anything, he is known for his lack thereof. But another thing that he is known for is his accuracy. He is that. All right. Two of Pentacles here. This is making the necessary changes to hasten this Three of Wands energy. You know that you have things to do, and you are just doing them now while no one's watching, because you know that it's character building at this stage in the game. And speaking of characters, let's talk about the Page of Wands here. She's just a buffet. Like, she just sees life as a buffet. I'm going to come in here and feast on this, that, and the other for a little bit. I'm going to leave a little tip, and then I'm going to go. Oh, wow, that's an interesting dish. I've never tried that before. One spoonful won't kill me. What kind of drink is that? You get where I'm going with this. She's very in the moment. All right. So the difference between the Page and the Knight, she is a little more cerebral in her approach than the Knight of Wands is. Because if you're looking at the hierarchy, you got to learn what the rules are before you go and break them, right? And then once you break them, you have a better understanding of how you want to work within those rules. But before you can do anything, you've got to learn them. So with that being said, with this Page of Wands being here, it's like learning about your passion all over again. Because I know some of y'all thought yours was gone forever. Okay. We've got the Six of Pentacles, the Emperor, Four of Swords, and King of Pentacles. All right, listen. Collective, this is about your dough and your passion, period. Your resources and what you do with your second chakra. That's it. Okay. So what I am seeing here with the Six of Coins is the balance still being reset, right? But this is something that you can actually see in your 3D life. This isn't just, playing around or nothing. Like this is like the real deal, with the Emperor here, he's making sure that the kings are doing what they need to do, that the queens are nurturing the way that they need to nurture, that the knights are bringing the action when the action needs to be brought, and that the pages are keeping up with the ins and outs, understanding the rules of engagement, knowing said rules of engagement like this, because they're going to need that when they get into queen and king status. Okay, Emperor makes sure that his kingdoms and his empires are cool. With the Four of Swords followed and rounding us out actually with the King of Pentacles, you actually take this time to rest. Take it. Because even though we've got Knight of Pentacles and King of Pentacles here in this deck, and they don't necessarily move quickly, but they will expect that you understand and appreciate the sense of urgency when these two in particular say that it is time to go. Because you don't want the Emperor telling you that it's time to go, because he's going to be highly upset that he even had to open up his mouth to tell you. He shouldn't have to tell you. You should just know that. I don't know how you're supposed to just know that, but you are. You're supposed to just know that. Be on the lookout for this new opportunity, because there is a huge increase in your financial life. So if you find yourself kind of making steps toward them, but not really, put forth a little more effort. Frequency Phoenix 555 said, it just takes about 18 minutes a day to build up enough practice to be an expert at something. 15 minutes a day. So take this time of rest and spend it wisely, because there's a big financial come up that I see in this spread. All right, thank you for taking the time to hang out with me today. And until we meet again, remember to be good to yourselves and to each other. I will see you next time. Bye now.